Hello everyone, this is Rakesh Salreja and I welcome you to the Om Institute YouTube channel. Yes, as you all know, maths and aptitude forms an integral and a very important part as far as the weightage of the examination is concerned because GATE is a 100-mark examination. There is no sectional cutoff. Okay, you have to maximize your marks out of 100, and these are some of the subjects. Okay, which itself is like 28%, and that's something really big. Okay, that is something really big. Okay, the maths and aptitude. Okay, so in this video, we'll be talking about what are the important practice tips for this particular subject. Where are the areas that you must necessarily practice to have a good command on this subject because 28% is something you can't ignore. Okay, it's a game changer, it's a rank booster for many of the aspirants. Okay, because many a time students keep on focusing on technical. It is most important part to focus on technical, but focusing only on technical also is not the correct strategy. Okay, because this is 28 percentage, and there are three categories of students here. I'll tell you. Even maths and aptitude normally for engineers is believed to be good. Okay, engineers should be normally believed to be good at aptitude and maths, but it depends on what your previous background was, how serious you were in the past. Okay, and out of the three categories that I'm telling you, the first category of students are one, okay, who are always having a fear factor for maths and aptitude, especially maths. Okay, so let me tell you one simple thing. If you have a fear factor also, okay, at least something from your plus two. See, aptitude is like basic maths up to class 10th, and maths. Of course, it is engineering maths, higher engineering maths, but still there are around 30 to 40% topics which you have studied in your plus two, 11, 12. Okay, whether you take the topics from differential calculus, integral calculus, or the determinants or probability or etc., there are around 30 to 40% topics which are done in your 11th and 12th. Okay, so you may be weak, I agree, and that is the reason you may have fear. Okay, but at the same time, let me tell you, you are at least not zero. You may be remembering at least something what you have learned in the earlier. See, in technical, at least you start from zero because technical you enter into engineering, you are study the subject for the first time. So that is something very beginning for you. Okay, so one thing I can assure you is that of course, these two subjects have very high weightage. Okay, and I told you you have to focus on technical, very important. But the effort required to study any of these subjects, whether you take maths alone or whether you take aptitude alone, the effort required to study any of them individually is lesser than what required by any technical subject because 72 marks. This will have 8 to 10 technical subjects. It is not only one subject. Okay. So, the weightage of maths or aptitude, anyone you say, is higher than almost most of the technical subjects also. And effort required will be less because you may be weak, but you don't at least start from zero. One systematic preparation can give you a good boost. Okay. Second category of students is they don't have fear factor, but they believe that they are not that strong. Okay, they can practice and build upon. Okay, and those students really work hard and get the good marks, in 28. Third category of students sometimes, are those students who think they are very good in maths. Of course, there are students who are very good in maths and aptitude. Okay, so they don't look into the subject at all. Mostly they ignore it. Okay, maybe you are good, and if you ignore it, out of 28 by own you may be able to still score 18 and 20. Okay, maybe. Okay, but see, maybe somebody who was not as good as you, but he worked hard, he practiced a lot, and he got 25 out of 28, and you were at 18 marks. Okay, so that 7 to 8 marks of difference will be a rank changer for you. Okay, so even if you believe you are good in that, okay, maybe you need less time to study the subject, but at least practice. Okay, should be fulfilled. Okay, practice with honesty should be fulfilled because I'm telling you now, out of 100 marks will be counted, not individually out of 72 or out of 15 or out of 13. So you have to maximize, and this is a strong area too. These are very strong points to maximize your marks out of 100. Okay, so of course, before I come to the practice point, one important thing is, it's a gate examination. Okay, and if you talk about questions are not repeated. It's not like all previous year questions copied. Rarest of the case, you find question repeated. At the same time, especially, okay, aptitude mostly requires practice. Is not much of concept. Of course, concepts are there, but that is, up to basic maths up to class 10. So you don't just have to revise those concepts. But when it comes to maths, there are good questions also coming. There are conceptual questions also coming. So because it's a gate level paper, you can't just be, directly going to questions for practice. You can't just have the formula list and go for practice. You need to study the subject. Okay. Okay. Now, if you're following some coaching, maybe Home Institute or any XYZ, if you're already following some coaching offline or online, whatever class, then I always suggest notes will be the most preferred method for you to study, especially these two subject, maths and aptitude, because in these subjects you need quick methods, tips and tricks to obtain the problems. Of course, you need the concept first, but other than the concept, you need tips and techniques to appear and conquer the questions faster and faster way. So if you are already following some coaching, the notes should be sufficient, because that will not only contain theory, that will contain multiple models of the question, different varieties of question, the tricks to solve the question. Okay, the MCQ question, the approaches, how to eliminate the option. So all this is also required. So if you have those notes, okay, or if you can borrow some notes from your friends, that will be best. Okay, or if you're totally dependent on self study, you can go for this as well. Okay, the books of course will take a little bit more time, but what books? Okay, what books? Okay, for maths, if you want to talk about the reference book, the best one, okay, the best one is, the mathematics, the high advanced engineering mathematics by Arvind Kreisek. Okay, the problems of this level are gate level. In fact, let me say reverse. The gate questions are motivated from the problems of those books. So this is one of the best book. Or if you have some, maths book normally that you follow in universities like B.S. Grewal or H.K. Das or something of that sort, that also you can keep with you. Okay, if you already have it, but I think best is Arvind Kreisek if you want to study the concepts and practice questions as per gate. Okay, similarly, if you want to know the reference book for aptitude, okay, if you want to know the reference book for aptitude, okay, so of course, R.S. Agarwal for gate is itself totally sufficient, okay, for both quantitative aptitude as well as the verbal and non-verbal reasoning. Okay, verbal and non-verbal reasoning. Now, coming to verbal ability, I'll suggest you that if you are good in English, okay, if you are good in English, then I think you should not study verbal ability separately, because they ask very fundamental, very logical question. Although it's English, but they still relate logical questions. Of course, one question will be from vocabulary based, okay, antonym, synonym, or direct word meaning. On one of them is very logical grammar. So if you're already good in English now, what you have to do, don't study anything separately. You can just go through the PYQs. Good in English means you may be one of the students habit, already in the habit of reading newspapers, English newspapers or novels or etc. Okay, so then you will be directly able to attend the question. Go through the PYQs at least, so that you see what models of questions are coming. Okay, and at the same time, if you are one category of student who are poor in English, okay, maybe your background, before coming to engineering was Hindi medium. So then I'll tell you guys, right now, these days, if you look into the pattern, it is 2 to 3 marks of verbal ability is coming, maximum 4 marks, you say. Okay, and because if you belong to some background with, like Hindi medium or so, studying any book will not help you a lot. I mean, it's not, it can't help you, but that will take a lot of time. And spending that much of time reading a complete book to improve your English right now for just 2 to 4 marks, it's not a good choice. Okay, so I'll suggest you, if you're not good in English, if you're from some Hindi medium background, don't study any book. Okay, right now you can ignore the verbal ability marks. I know it is 2 to 4 marks, so you can ignore. Later on, at the end time, you can watch some marathon type videos, 5 to 6 hours. Okay, and get what I know. Even if you study 5 to 6 hours verbal ability from some marathon, na, if it comes for 4 marks, still you can be able to get 2 to 3 marks. Maybe there is a difference of 1 to 2 marks, and for 1 to 2 marks, you can't study from scratch. Okay, so that's what the call you have to take based on whether you're good in English or not good in English. But other than that, when you talk about quantitative aptitude or reasoning part, okay, that definitely needs to be studied and practiced, and that you can do it from the R.S. Agarwal books. That is what I honestly say. Now, as I told you, if you're already, with some institute, so going for notes is the best choice. But if you're, studying aptitude, especially by book, what you can do is one simple technique for aptitude. One simple technique for aptitude is, okay, you will, when once you open the books, you'll find several small topics. Okay, what are the most important topics of aptitude you want to know? You can search my other videos, you will get it on the YouTube. But I'll tell you honestly, even if you sit down 30 to 40 minutes daily aptitude, if you're especially self-studying, 30 to 40 minutes daily aptitude, okay, take out one topic, solve questions 30 to 40 minutes per topic, okay, enough. Okay, or maximum 45 minutes per day. Okay, this will give you two benefits. So daily, if you conquer 45 minutes, na, okay, in this way you will be able to complete the syllabus also. Okay, in no time. You are not spending a significant time of the day, only 45 minutes. Okay, so slowly, you'll not realize also your syllabus will be done. And second important point is, sometimes, continuously studying technical or any heavy subject makes you feel exhausted, and you don't want to study at that time. So you unnecessary, watch videos on mobile, or do some gossip with the friends. You want to study, but you are exhausted. So at that time, you can take a subject like aptitude, because it is not exhausting. It is always refreshing, just basic math problems. Okay, so if you spend those 45 minutes, your time is also utilized, and syllabus also, slowly, small steps, it will be completed easily. So that technique you can adapt for aptitude. Okay, daily, around 45 minutes you spend. Okay, keep completing the topics. Okay, now, dear, coming up to the important practice tips. So, these subjects, especially maths, as I told you, you have to study the concepts are the first and foremost thing. That is why I talked about notes or books. Okay. But, to study for the first time, you need detailed understanding, detailed concept. But then once you understand later on what is important, the formula should be there for you. Okay. So you can make a separate short note, for math, especially, if not aptitude, maybe aptitude not that important. Okay. But the short note booklet should be there, especially for maths. Okay. So, once you keep completing every chapter of maths, keep making the short notes where you write down the important formulas and important tricks also. As I told you, maths and aptitude both will involve a lot of tricks. So, in the math short notes, write down the formula, and if you have some shortcuts, okay, keep adding there, because at the end, the short notes very helpful. Okay. So, when you go to the practice at the end, once you can just quickly go through the short notes and start practicing there. Okay. So, as I'm telling you, practice is the key for these subjects. Okay, more you practice, more you score in subject like maths and aptitude. So if you want to talk about the practice, the biggest tool, okay, for practicing maths and aptitude is the previous year questions. Okay, this is the biggest tool. Now, why I call it as the biggest tool? Because maths is a subject common to, and aptitude also is common to all branches of engineering. Okay, so when I say PYQs, don't restrict yourself to your branch only. Okay, solve the PYQs, okay, of at least all 5 to 6 branches. Okay, of all 5 to 6 branches. So when I say 5 to 6 branches, what do I mean? Okay, whatever your branch be, okay, you can solve the previous questions of EC, double E, computer science, instrumentation, mechanical, and civil engineering. You get a very good variety of problem. Okay, mostly students confined to their own branch, but if you solve for these 5 to 6 branches, at least EC, double E, CS, mechanical, civil, okay, you'll get a very good problem range. Okay, and I think with good concepts and PYQs, 15 to 20 years PYQs of these branches, uh, you know, I think this is itself sufficient. This is itself sufficient. Over and above that, of course, over and above, okay, you need, to test yourself, because when you're practicing, okay, when you're practicing, you practice sometimes 10 questions at a time, sometimes 50 at a time, sometimes only two, depending on how much time you have, what your mood is. But it is important that in a time bound examination, okay, say 20 minutes, you are given 10 questions, whether you're able to attempt all, maybe you know all, but whether you're able to attempt all, how your speed is, okay, how your pressure level is, handling a time based examination. So next important thing is, okay, go for the test of the subject. Okay, very important. Okay, and especially for maths, okay, go for topic test as well. Okay, and subject test. Okay, for aptitude, you can directly attempt subject test also, but for maths, topic test, topic to topic, like linear algebra test, probability distribution test, differential calculus one test, vector calculus, like that, keep on going topic to topic test. And at the end, once you are done with all topics and all topic wise tests, revise the entire subject and go for the subject test, so that you can analyze how perfect you are in maths, at what percentage you stand right now. If you are already at 70% or above in individually any subject, that means you are comfortable. Okay, but if you are say only at 40%, 50%, yeah, below that, okay, you need to improve. So you need to highlight the weak areas. Maybe not the entire subject is weak, but one or two chapters may be troubling you. Okay, and if you have some weak areas, okay, if you have some weak areas, what you can do is, okay, see, as I told you, PYQs itself will be a very essential tool and very necessary tool, for this particular subject. Okay, if you do the 5 to 6 subject PYQs for last 15, 20 years PYQs, I think sufficient. Okay, you don't need any other practice source, because whatever you studied in class, there also you solve different variety of questions. But maybe you're able to highlight one or two weak areas from maths also, from aptitude also. Okay, like in aptitude, many students find difficulty sometimes in geometry and mensuration question. Some students find difficulty in the permutation and combination or probability questions. So you can highlight your weak areas. Okay, and in maths also you can highlight your weak areas. Maybe you're weak in vector calculus or complex functions or whatever. Okay, for that weak areas, Nadir, for that weak areas, you can take up these books. Okay, as I told you, if you're already a student of some coaching, have the notes. So notes plus PYQs and plus test is, I think, good amount. Good for maths and aptitude. But still, you can highlight your weak chapters, and for weak chapters, you can go to the problem practice for this book. Maybe not all chapters, but at least for weak chapters, you can go for this. Okay. But how will you come to your weak chapters, your weak areas? You go for the test. Okay, test is also a source of practice, but other than that, it is also a very so important and source of analysis. Where you stand, what are your weak areas, how you can improve them. Okay, after improving the weak areas, you can again give subject to another subject test and see how much you have improved. If you are able to go now beyond 70-75%, that means you have a comfortable level in particular subject. Okay, so that is what really your belief should be. Okay, so this is how things will go. But now coming to important point is, many students, it's not that for the first time I'm telling that you have to practice questions of all five branches or all six branches. I've been telling the students for the last 12 to 13 years. Okay, because when I gave the gate examination personally, I also did the problem practice for multiple branches, and that really gave me the confidence and a good amount of practice, and I secured ninth rank. Of course, not only because of maths and aptitude, I put efforts in technical, but in technical also. Suppose I'm studying signals, I try to solve the PYQs of ECEE both. Okay, because it is a common subject. So, whatever subjects are common, you should practice for multiple branches so that you score best and best, more and more in that particular subject. Now, coming to the point, students say, sir, maybe students have the collection of, suppose you're an EC student, you may have the collection of your own, okay, of your own branch, previous year questions of maths, from where to get other. Okay, the students are not able to get some of the questions they find on internet, some they borrow from the friends, but they are not able to collectively manage all five to six. Okay, and that is the reason. Okay, I'm telling you, I've given this suggestion from the past 12, 13 years, and that is the reason now I also announced one important thing. Okay, that yes, now the for GATE 2025, the OM Institute, okay, book for general aptitude and maths, okay, previous year question book containing 2048 questions, 349 questions of maths and 699 questions of general aptitude. Okay, all previous year questions, okay, of all branches. Okay, all previous year questions of all branches. It will not only be one particular branch. Okay, this is just the cover page, and this is what. Yes, guys. So this is what is the book, that OM Institute has launched: General Aptitude and Mathematics, total 2048 questions. Okay, and this is going to include, okay, the previous year questions of all particular branches. Okay, so like, say for example, I go to any chapter like linear algebra, because linear algebra is there in every branch, na? Okay, and all the questions are 1 mark, 2 mark. All questions are available here. So let me show you. Questions are available back from gate 90s up to gate 2024. So more than 20 years questions collection is there, guys. More than 20-year question collection is there. Okay, so I'll just show you some common topic and common subject sample. So have a look into it if you are able to follow it. Okay, so just go through it. With every question it is written. Okay, which subject it is, sorry, which year it is, which branch it is. Okay, and what is the mark, 1 mark or 2 mark. Okay, okay, like this question number 116, you're able to see gate 2007 civil 1 mark. Okay, and etc. Next question is double E 2 marks. So all branches, I'm telling you, all branches questions are included here, and it is included chapter wise. Okay, it's not in one go. Okay, so I've also taken this screenshot for the index page. For general aptitude also, you don't get all questions in one shot, so that you practice, topic to topic. You have numerical estimation, numerical reasoning, numerical computation, and DI separately. Verbal ability also categorized in 4 5 important parts. Okay, so as I'm telling you, maybe if you're not that good in English, okay, so maybe you will feel little difficult in vocabulary, but at least, okay, the grammar and critical reasoning, okay, and sentence completion. If you are basic decent also, now you can be able to do it directly without any book study. Okay, you just have a look into the PYQs, at least for this one: sentence completion, grammar, and critical reasoning. Okay, now mathematics also will be divided chapter wise, like linear algebra, for calculus. Calculus includes both differential and integral calculus, vector calculus, Fourier series, differential equation, complex variable probability, and statistics. All of the chapters are included here. Okay, so that's a big bonus for you, and I think a student of any branch, okay, can go for it. If you are already, a home student, so you must be having these books. Okay, now how can you get these books if you really want to enhance your practice in maths and aptitude? So how do you get this book? Okay, number one, if you are at Hyderabad, you can directly walk down to our Hyderabad office and get the information and the book from there itself. Okay, or very easy, it's a digital world. Okay, no need to travel anywhere. You can just go to our website ominstitute.live. Okay, or you can also purchase it from our app, that is Om Live. Okay, that app is available on the Google Play Store, or it is also available in Amazon now. Okay, so I'll just give you highlights of all these things. I'll just give you the highlights of all these things. So here it is. Yeah, have a look into it, dear. Okay. So, if you just type, I've done all the homework for you. Gate 25 General Aptitude, English and Maths book by Om. Okay. The first link you get is Amazon. So you can directly go to the Amazon also and purchase the book. Okay. Yes, it's easy. Go to Amazon and purchase. Okay. As I site also you can go Live. Okay, and under the Om Institute Live, there is a section of books. In this website, you can also get the information about all our courses. But if you go to the books, okay, and very soon you will get books here about the technical subject also. Okay, so it's not only maths, you will get the technical subject. Okay, common subject book like signals, network, the subjects which are common to ECEE, and then the subjects which are core subjects like genes, power system, etc. And communication, EDC, and they will be in the subject. Again, if there you'll have the question of ECEE. In fact, I can also. Okay, so that also will be. You can go to this book and view the pricing is there, and you can purchase directly from the site. Okay, or as I told you, you can also purchase from the Home Live app. Google Play. Just go to Google Play Store, type Home Live app, get this link. Directly, you have the option to purchase the book from there. Okay, so these are the different you can purchase. Enhance your practice of maths and aptitude. Again, I repeat, guys, done that firstly. Three important things. First, get clear about your concept. First thing is, break the subject condition. I started the that point only. Second important key is practice. So if you practice PYQs, okay, we practice the PYQs of all 5 to 6 branches. Okay, especially more than 20 years, I think it is a good, very good amount of practice. Next step is only go for the test. Aptitude, subject test, or maybe reasoning. Okay, not necessary to go topic. For math, you take subject test, but before you should do the algebra or calculus or vector calculus, topic to topic. Okay, so again, I repeat concepts, practice PYQs, all branches, all 6 branches, including IN. Okay, and test. This is sufficient for maths and aptitude, and you cannot ignore it because it's a 28-mark game changer, as I gave some examples in the beginning. Okay, and if you all 5 to 6 branch PYQs in one single book, Maths and Aptitude, okay, you can get this book. The price is also very nominal, it's around 550. Okay, as I mentioned, 2048 questions are there. Okay, with complete detailed solutions. Okay, with complete detailed solutions is there. So that's a good one. And very soon, I'll update you about how you can go for the how you can purchase the technical books also. Okay, for the technical subjects, PYQs also books are ready. I'll very soon update you from where and how you can purchase those particular books. Okay, for technical, you will have again one common subject book and one core subject book. Common subject which are common to ECEE, and core separate book for EC, separate book for EE. But this maths and aptitude book can be purchased even by mechanical, civil, instrumentation, or computer science, any branch student, because it has okay the combination of PYQs of branches very helpful for your practice. Okay, so for this book, whatever your branches, you can go for it. Okay, so these are the different ways to purchase. So I hope you got some practice tips. Again, I repeat: number one, concept. Number two, practice PYQs more than 20 years and 5 to 6 branches. Okay, and number three, tests. This much I think it's good. If you do this with honesty, you can maximize your marks. Probably you can touch 28 out of 28, or if not 28, at least 25, 26 you can cross easily, and that will be a rank and a game changer for you. Trust me. Okay, with this, I, Rakesh Salreja, sign off. I hope you enjoyed the video. For any more queries, you can also contact the contact number of home, okay, which was already mentioned here as well. Okay, 9515694053, or it is also mentioned on our websites. Okay, guys, so that's it. Bye bye. Thank you. Stay safe and do take care of yourself.